Gemini and cross watchers. I know you got them. I felt them right away dropping into your energy, Gemini. You definitely have people who are pulling on your energy at this time. I'm going to bring it in right away before I lose the download. There was one energy in particular that I feel is pulling on you quite intensely at this time. I got that this person needs a handout or a bailout. They're asking you for some kind of assistance. It might be financial assistance, bailout. It could be somebody wanting you to bail them out. You're getting a call from jail, okay? Or it could be that somebody's in some kind of trouble and they want you to come to their aid. Maybe you've always come to this person's aid. You come to this person's aid repeatedly. They keep putting themselves in the same situation and they just sort of take for granted that you'll always be in their corner and bail them out. And I think that you're in a position where you're realizing that it's causing too much disruption for you. Too much disruption maybe in your home. It could be it's been the source of arguments in your home. And you're starting to realize that this particular woman feels like it's a woman, a privileged lady, somebody who feels like they should just have certain privileges when it comes to your connection. They make certain assumptions, maybe because you've helped them out before. They think you're going to help them out again. This is somebody who tends to take more than they give. I feel like you're drawing lines in this situation. You've had enough. I got that. I feel like your energy is really changeable right now. You might be trying to muddle through this a little bit. I picked up real sort of like chameleon vibes, you know, the energy is shifting from one moment to another. I feel like you're just about to settle on a place of decisiveness, though, and make a clean cut in this situation because you know that it really, truly, when you pan out from it, it is what's for the best in this situation, okay? That was the initial download for you. I mean, otherwise, I feel like things are pretty clear in your life, you know? There's a real fresh energy to you. I feel like you got an open road ahead and you're making some choices about how you want to move forward. You've made a lot of changes in your life. You've gotten a lot of clarity. Some of you have gotten clean, okay? Or you've dropped some really destructive habit or connection in your life. You let go of something that was taking you down the wrong path. You knew it was out of harmony with your integrity. And you found the good red road. You found your feet back on the good red road. And now I feel like there's things opening up for you. It feels good. And you don't want to lose this energy. You don't want to lose this clarity you got now. You do feel like you dropped some dead weight, okay? Some of you dropped some physical weight. You realized that your weight was more kind of a symbol of what you were holding on to that you hadn't released yet. You let it go. You got really decisive. You know, you took some strong actions. You worked with that energy of Saturn and Pisces to sort of get a hold of some of your vices, and you turn things around. You know, you started making little changes. Those little changes ended up having a big result. Okay, baseline energy. Yeah, I think you're wanting to reclaim your sense of direction here. The 8th could be very significant for you, all right? There might be something that comes in on the 8th of this month in Leo season that does get you to a place where you're sort of getting a little directional reroute here. There might be something that gets stirred up at that time. You might become very aware of what direction you need to head in. You might get some kind of inspiration that comes in with the Leo new moon that's coming in on the 4th. Not only does the Leo new moon come in on the 4th, but also we got Mercury retrograde coming in. We also got Venus going into Virgo. Okay, Virgo, you could be dealing with a Virgo. You could be dealing with an earth sign energy that's asking for the assist, be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, for that initial download that came in. You know, maybe you're letting this person know that you can't help them out this time, or you think that they need to take accountability, or, you know, you're just not in the position to do so. You got your own burdens to carry, whatever this is. It might like create a little bit of tension there. This person might pop off a little bit. They might get a little mouthy. They might be angry by your decision. And that might stir things up initially, okay? You might really feel them pulling on your energy because this has already kind of gone down. You took a strong stance and this person's still like kind of holding it against you. But I feel more the sense that there's something else coming in here. I do feel like once you've let this go to that south node, you know, you allow this time to sort of come to pass in your life. And it gets you back into alignment with your due north, your sun, your happiness, okay? For some of you, it may be with your son. If you have a child and you've had some difficulties connecting with your child, there could have been somebody who was kind of creating complications with that. 8 energy coming in here. You've been finding it hard to really anchor your happiness or what feels like, yeah, you know, this feels good. This is what I'm really wanting to step into. You know, there's been something about it that's felt a little bit off. I think you've been looking at things, getting a new perspective. So this is about really turning this energy around. And this is for any strong Gemini placement, or if you happen to have a prominent placement in the 3rd house. Likewise, if you are a Sagittarius rising, that makes you a Gemini descendant, and especially in relationship matters or where you're dealing with anybody else on the other side of the bargaining table, it can be very helpful to tap into readings for your descendant sign to get those details, even to see how they may be viewing you. Somebody is on the attack here. It is a woman. This could be a lover that you've had before. I do feel like something is really going to come to a head by the Aquarius full moon on the 19th. You may feel like you're on the attack if you're a woman, you know, and you got a score to settle here. You may be speaking some truth. You may be speaking it loudly. People might think this is a little out of character for you, just, you know, where you're coming from here. But I think that you got some special sort of insight here. You know, you've gotten some kind of guidance that came in for you. You've been opening up spiritually. You've been embracing new perspectives. I do feel like you're experiencing a lot of growth right now, and maybe you've been going to different natural spots. You know, you've been hanging out around some ley lines or something, or getting to know some people who have certain practices. I got like spiritual practices, and it's awakening something in you. I feel like you've been connecting a lot more with the earth, and as you connect with the earth, that also really opens up your ability to get guidance, to have understanding, and to enter into the natural flow. I feel like you are sort of rooted in right now, and because of that, you're able to really kind of pull down, you know, from those higher energies too. You're getting guidance. You have a certain perspective, a certain philosophical outlook here. You know, you're able to see something with more optimism perhaps than other people, and you're trying to create a positive way forward in a situation. Maybe it involves multiple people, and you got a bunch of imps around you is what it looks like. Just like people who just want to stir stuff up, who want to cause problems, people who are being petty. Okay. And I feel like this is, you know, it's messing with your flow for your vision, and you're not wanting to deal with this anymore. There could be an ex in connection with this. It could be your ex. It could be somebody else's ex that's just sort of like stirring things up in this situation. But I feel like whatever this is, there is a woman on the warpath. Now, it could be that earth sign energy. It could be you in some cases. Maybe you just had it. Maybe you've been putting up with something for so long, and you're about to, you know, you're about to make something unequivocally clear here. Yeah, unequivocally clear. You know, it's interesting because I'm seeing these like little flags over the moon. It's like your desire is to have like this peace. It reminds me of those flags, the prayer flags that hang in Tibet. Maybe you've taken up a practice like Buddhism or something, or you've been meditating, or you've been doing yoga, or, you know, maybe you're tapping into one of those traditions. I do feel like that's what you want. You want peace. You want peace. And you're really just tired of all this stuff going on that's always stirring things up and causing problems, and you're tired of one character here who's really acting out, attacking people, maybe, just being problematic. It seems like it's somebody who's kind of privileged. Like they just expect that things should kind of be done their way, things should be handed to them, that people need to put up with their crap. That's what I just heard, that people need to put up with their crap. And I think somebody is speaking up. Either these people are all running because, this person's being problematic and they're acting up. Maybe they're asking a lot of people to come and give them assist, and everybody's like, oh, no, I'm busy. No, not available on that day. Yeah, I mean, this is somebody who does view themselves as the queen, but I do think you have a higher perspective here. There may be even something going on here. You notice this is like kind of the dichotomous energy, because we do have this like praying mantis energy here. Okay, so this is like aggressive feminine. She mates and then she takes your head. She mates and then she takes your head. Maybe she's got crazy head game. It's just coming in. I'm just saying that can make a man lose his mind in some cases, okay? I mean, this is an adult channel. It's coming in that way. Maybe that's why this person's had some privileges, for a while. Maybe that's why there's a lot of, energy stirred up around this particular character. You might have, been fine. This is not for everybody. Okay, it's coming in for someone, though. I got to speak to the messages as they come in. You might have been playing, sugar daddy to somebody, or maybe, someone was your sugar mama. Okay, it could be, but something here has gotten a little out of hand, all right? Because I do see there's like this queen energy here on the other side, all right? So this really gives me the impression of like two feminines in the picture here, all right? And one of them is really aggressive and hostile, and the other one has a little, maybe a similarity to you, is able to have a little bit different of a perspective. We see hawk medicine here. You could be dealing with somebody that has strong Aries in their chart, okay? You could be dealing with life path 2, life path 6. Together that makes 8. Maybe it's really impossible to get these two to work together. Yes, you may just be feeling like, I just need to beat this scene because there's no way these two are ever going to like work it out. And maybe, maybe somebody, that you have in common is feeling this way. If you're the feminine in this picture, you know what I'm saying? You could be dealing with the same man. He's kind of taken from both of you in that case. You see, maybe he is thinking of making a run for it. All right, so there is something to suss out here. Life path 5 coming in with that. Okay, the rats. Yeah, and there is something going on here. There's details that you need to be aware of here. What's the crossing energy? What came in? Oh, the secret. Yes. So there is some subterfuge here. We see that. This could even be like a little clique or a little club. Could be a mean girls club. But it is. It's a little cliquey, okay? It could be, a circle of people who get together around their spirituality. I mean, this could be, this could be a little witchy group potentially, okay? It could be a prayer circle. It could be people who come off as devout Christians. We did bring in the piece of recovery, so this could be like, a recovery program. A lot of times with the steps, they bring in a lot of kind of religious focus. So this could be playing a role in some regard. I do feel like there's people kind of tapping into other people's energy, tapping into other people's conversations, tapping into other people's business, surveillance in some cases, not all. And we do see here that there's some kind of conflict here, and it's brewing. And if it hasn't like come to a head, I feel like you can feel the tension mounting. Maybe that's why when I first dipped into Gemini energy, it felt really like, it felt annoyed. It felt annoyed, stirred up, changeable, you know. And I do feel like at the heart of this, though, there's like money involved, money, power. It's like money and power games are sort of what's going down here in this climate. All right, let's get some more details, see what we got. I think, you know, you might be in the mindset that you're like, you know what? I'm just going to let it ride. All right. I don't have any fear. I know that I've swept my side of the street. I got my compass on lock. I know where I'm heading. I'm ready to go. You know, I got my map. And I'm not, you know, sitting here with my head in the sand anymore. You know, I'm looking straight ahead. I'm focused on closing cycles so I can come into alignment with my true path. And for you, this is a path of heart, that it's not just a path of heart, it's a path of heart, it's a path of freedom, and it's a path of adventure. You know, there's more life for you to live. I feel like with this new moon coming in, and I believe it comes in tomorrow, this is going to really be highlighted for you. And I think as we're looking at the Mercury retrograde energy, I kind of feel like you've already gotten over a lot of this old stuff. Like you don't feel attached to that. You've been moving more into this expansion, and maybe people haven't really recognized how much so, because the expansion's been more internal for you. I mean, they might see some signs on the surface. I mean, it was 1711 on the clock when I said that. So they might notice there's been a little bit of a shift, that you've sort of switched things around a little bit. You're investing in different directions, and they're seeing it's paying off for you too. Some of you do something around real estate, or, you know, any kind of investments in property, something like this. Or you're getting into something that maybe, you know, brings in like flipping properties or Airbnb, something like this. That's not for all of you, okay? I think most of you are about to take a trip, and it kicks off with this new moon. And when I say a trip, the trip is a trip of a lifetime, is what I just heard. And it's a trip that it's not somewhere you get to overnight. It's a long, strange trip. I got that. There's going to be interesting detours along the way. It's going to be a little unusual. It's meant to be. It's meant to be because it's trying to help you recover a part of yourself that got lost a long, long time ago. And it's time to bring it back in, bring life, you know, fresh life back into those parts of you that, you know, you sort of, you put aside. You put aside, you know, you had responsibilities. You were trying to do the adult thing. Is for some of you, it's stuff from when you were a kid, you know, that you never got to fulfill. You want to fulfill it now. You recognize, I only got one life. And maybe with as crazy as everything is in the world and how changeable things are, it's like you can't be guaranteed a tomorrow. Like everybody knows that. Some of you have had some health scare, or you saw somebody very close to you have a health scare. That highlighted that for you even more so. It's like nothing is guaranteed. Or you've been through so many changes in your life, or had a real unexpected ending. Something really flipped on you that you thought was a sure thing. And so this really made you realize, like, hey, anything can happen. So I can sit around and I can hold a lot of space for people who feel privileged to my time, my energy, my resources, my kind nature, and I can keep getting taken advantage of, used, disrespected, disregarded, or I can actually recognize that it's up to me to make a sound investment here. And I feel like you are investing in a path. That's what it feels like, a path you want to go down, all right? And I see you going there. And once you set foot on this path, there's something about the coordinates, okay? It's like you're able to like really, you know, get the coordinates of where you're going, what that looks like. And when I speak of coordinates, yeah, this could be geographically. For some of you, this is about relocation. It's about move. It's about where do I want to be? Where do I want to lay down roots? What feels like home to me? Some of you may want to go back to a place from your childhood. You know, you miss it. You want to be back there. Not for all of you, but that could be coming in for somebody, because we do have that piece. This Mercury retro cycle is, you know, it's coming in with quite a bang. We got a lot like whip around energy going on right now. And we're closing up major cycles. We just closed up a 16-year cycle with the Capricorn full moon we had on the 21st of July. So something recently wrapped up, and you're just about to open up this new chapter. And you're ready for adventure. And you know it's going to be an adventure. And you're ready for that ride. You're ready to take that ride. You know it's going to be a wild ride. But you're ready for it. Some of this has something to do with somebody you want to connect with on a sensual level. You know it's going to be a wild ride, but you're ready for it. There is a little bit of this energy coming in. I like it. I like it. There's a little spice here. I like it. It's good, though. It's good. I think that some people may think it's a little weird that you're moving forward in this way. That's no bother to you. You're going to have a story to share, you know, when you get to the destination of this trip, of this road you're heading down. And I think that's how you envision yourself, you know. If you are going to make it, if you are going to have a real long life, you know, you want to be one of those people who's like, sitting on your rocking chair on the porch and, sharing your anecdotes with all the whippersnappers. You know, you want to have some stories to tell. And I think that's what's kind of coming through here is my story's not done. I mean, there's more to it than this. I got a lot more life to live. I have a lot more stories to tell. 22 on the clock to 22, 23. Big alignment coming in here for you. Big synchronicity. I do feel like you're linking up with somebody of importance too. But there might be a closure that needs to happen here, okay? There might be somebody that you need to release that's been a little too privileged. You're not wanting to deal with that anymore. You're wanting a situation where it feels like you can really meet somebody eye to eye. You're mutually invested together. For some of you, it's coming through romantically. For others of you, it's just somebody important that you come into alignment with. And they're playing an important role in your life, perhaps in what comes next in your new chapter. What's on the other side here? You are leaving something behind. And some of you are leaving behind a group, right? And there's, a ship that has since sailed, man, and it's not going to make it. This ship's not coming in. There may have been a certain vision for working with these people and what you hope to achieve in this situation. There's a 4 energy again, okay? So 4, 44, 444, likewise 8 coming in for you really strongly. 4s and 8s, those are your numbers, okay? 8 means you're coming into alignment. 4s is giving you an idea about something maybe that you've been holding on to that you need to release so you can start building the foundation for your future. So when those numbers start to pop up on your path, just like pay attention to what's happening at that time. What situation is in your environment at that time. Maybe that's why, it got like this sort of like changeable. I couldn't even decide on a color of lighting. I was like, let's just use all the colors. Maybe you're like that right now. You're just in that space. You're like, I'm tired of the same old drab, monochromatic, scale here. I'm really ready to, use all the colors. Use all the colors in the box. Draw outside the lines. I don't know, whatever this is. This is something that you don't want to be connected to. There's a lot of chaos that came about this collaboration, whatever this is. It does look like there's more people here than just you, than just 2. Okay, we definitely have 4 other people at least that were involved in this situation. And whatever was planned here, it's sinking. and it's going down fast. And I feel like this group is breaking up, or this friendship circle is breaking up, or there's some kind of partnership that's breaking up. In the case of a relationship that's breaking up, this is maybe, you know, friends are choosing which side they're on, you know. This could be something going on around you. It could be something you're actively involved in. I do feel like it affects you. There are two people here that are kind of off, in need of a rescue here. One of those may be a Queen of Pentacles energy, could be an Earth sign energy, and they're used to you bailing them out. But I see you in this sailboat off in the distance there. I think you already moved away from this. You've already been setting your course, whether others realize this or not. You sort of, you know, you got the memo. It doesn't take a weatherman to know which way the wind blows. You're like, yep, that's some bullshit. And I feel like you just said, okay, let's just, you know, let's just calmly move away from these connections. And yeah, I feel like where you're heading, it's good. It's calm. You're in calmer waters. There's new peace that's being established in your world. You also are feeling really balanced in where you're at emotionally. Like, you feel like you know where your heart's set, you know, and any moves you're making from this point, they're coming from your heart. You're not going to buy into other people's storylines or their perspectives. You're trusting your own heart in situations. I think you've made a wise choice here, and I think you got out of this, you know, sphere just in time. Just keep going. You have to remember that, because when a ship's going down, it does have a pull. So if you get tempted to get drawn back in this direction to give somebody a rescue, you're going to get pulled down with that ship, just by, you know, the nature of that gravitational pull will take you down to the depths with it. Okay, so, you know, get out while you can. I think this is a wise choice. Okay, it sets you on a new track. So let's get some more details for you here. All the spicy cards wanted to come out for you. Let me tell you, I want to get a more kind of broad scope of the situation here with the Kipper deck. I don't work with this often. I can't make it. Bottom of the deck, privileged lady. There might have been something that came through around this back in December, okay, with the 12th month there. Maybe something came up around the holidays. Something came to a head around the holidays. This could also be 12th house matter, okay? So this could be somebody that you have, you know, quite the karmic ties with. You've been on this loop many around, okay? It's not your first time at the rodeo, and you're tired of getting bucked off. You're telling them to buck off, man. You're like, I've had enough of this, okay? This could be a Pisces, looking at the 12th house. This could be somebody that you used to feel really close to, but then you started seeing a different side to them, and you realized this person was kind of like working against you in some ways, or not very loyal, or didn't have, you know, your best interest at heart. There's something here about somebody's true face was shown, and just their level of expectancy. Like, this person just has a certain expectancy. It could be somebody who's expecting too, I have to say. It could be somebody who's currently pregnant, just as an identifying factor. I got a little sentience around that, so that could be somebody's story. There could be some kind of drama around it. You don't want to get involved in the mess. You know, you're just like, nah, leave me out of it. You know, you play, you pay. I don't need to deal with that. That's not my burden to bear, and it's not my responsibility. Yeah, like I said, this person is needing some kind of handout. I got that. Got poverty here. And I do feel like this is what you're closing cycle on. You come to this person's rescue one too many times. There might have been a time that you helped somebody financially with something. They needed your assistance. They really pulled on your heartstrings, and you really like showed up for this person. Ooh, the light is wanting to dim on this side, powering down. Like somebody's like, don't talk about it. Oh, we're talking about it. So you really showed up for this person, you know? I feel like you shelled out a decent chunk of change. And then you saw them maybe not using the money for the purpose they said they were going to use it for. For some of you, this person has an addiction and they used it in that way, you know? You realized you weren't really helping them. You were actually supporting them and staying stuck. So you pulled out of that. For others of you, you saw them out, like, I don't know, maybe you saw them out having some like fancy dinner or, you know, splashing money around, going on shopping sprees. And you're like, excuse me? That's not what that was for. Now this person's needing bailout again. You're like, figure it out. Okay. That could be. Life path 1 could be involved in that situation. Life path 3, life path 7. You might have this person reach out to you today or a week from now. Yep, you're going to get this message. It's a message of concern, you know, and here it goes. You know, you have a choice. Are you going to choose your new beginning and your stability and where you're moving now? Or are you going to get sucked into this? Because if you get sucked into it, this is 5 energy right there. And immediately it throws you into conflict, throws you into chaos. It disrupts everything, right? So be aware of this. 14 energy, that's 5. Okay, so it could be a life path 5 you're dealing with, life path 1 again, life path 4. 14, temperance. There's need to have temperance in this situation. There's a need to sort of like balance things out. Like don't fight fire with fire in this situation. As we always say in Ayurveda, you know, you pay attention to how somebody's showing up, and that helps you sort of modulate how you respond to them. Blockage coming up here a little bit. Excuse me. Hold your tongue rather than just like being reactive. So if somebody comes and they're really putting on the pressure and they're getting really kind of like argumentative with you, or they're very desperate, so they're just sort of coming with a lot of like intensity, bring in a little bit of the water energy, you know, just stay calm, root it out, you know, root the energy, just kind of tamp down the fire a little bit. You know, don't go tit for tat with them. That won't work out good. I do feel like balance is needed in this situation. With temperance coming in, there could be a Sagittarius in connection with this. Yeah, I think, and there's a life path 5. So you could be a life path 5, or there could be somebody who's, you know, aware of this situation. They're a mature man, okay? This is somebody who has a clear view of the situation. They know what's destabilizing here, and they know how to get things kind of calmed down. It could be a Sagittarius just with temperance coming in. Okay, any further details about this? And then I want to pull out my shadow light playing cards because I'm really feeling pulled to bring in more of a kind of like straight from the hip with lots of lip kind of read here for you Geminis. And I think that's where you're at right now. You're tired of things being so out there and weird and not clear. You just want things to be, you know, upfront. And I do feel like you're making some decisive choices here. I also feel like you're making it clear to others that you're not going to be putting up with their crap anymore. And you might be sending some people scattering with your strong words. They might not be expecting this from you. I just heard for some of you, they do expect it. And so that's why maybe when you want to have a conversation with some people, you're reaching out to them, they're kind of like leaving you on red, or they don't call back. They know that you got some words for them. Okay, they're trying to ditch the conversation, the communication. You could be a Sagittarius rising for that Sag energy to come in. Okay, what's this? This came in reverse. Yeah, this is somebody that you're dealing with here. You know, this could be an artistic person. This person could be a painter. You could be a painter, right? That just coming in. I'm just noticing the paint brushes and the art. Could be a life path 6, a life path 1, a life path 7, 16. That's Tower energy. There was one time when you really respected this person. You know, they were a person that you viewed with a lot of honor. But I feel like this person's taken a fall in your mind. You know, you see them differently. At one point, you wanted to move forward with this individual with the 25 energy there. That 7 makes me think of Chariot energy. You don't feel like doing that anymore. I think it's because this person's really combative. I mean, I'm just seeing all this kind of like war imagery here that's come through. And you're not into it. You're not on the war path. Like you're a lover, not a fighter. You don't have time for this. You're not in high school. You know, it's like you're not on the yard. Like things are different now. You know, things are different in your life. You don't live like this. You're not here to duke it out with anybody. You're not here to fight, cause problems. You know, you don't want anything to do with this. And so I do feel like you've pulled your energy out of this. Maybe you got involved with somebody or a situation and you didn't really realize the full scope of the situation because whoever initially pulled you into a situation, you really respected this person. So you felt like you could trust them. And then as time went on, you started to recognize, wait a minute, like this isn't good. This isn't good. I don't want to be connected to this. This could affect my reputation. This could affect my standing. I don't want to be connected to, you know, this fighting. I don't want to be connected to, you know, this kind of stuff. I think you spotted something that could be really problematic and you recognize it could affect your work with occupation here. And again, there's that 7 energy. And you may be working really hard, you know, to build, you know, a new future for yourself in terms of your line of work. And you can't partner with this person on that, or you can't be connected with this individual on this level because there's something here that will really compromise your vision and where you're heading. Yeah. And I think there is a message of concern coming in. All right. But I think you're issuing a message back where you're saying, I'm pulling out of this because I'm aligned in a different direction. Yeah. What do we got here? Yeah. It's interesting with the way it comes in here because it comes in with child, okay, coffin, and toil and labor. And so I really feel like this is a situation where somebody's not your child. Your child is your responsibility for those of you who have children, okay? But I feel like whoever this is, they're either coming at you like a child, or they expect you to mommy them or daddy them, because this message came through, or they're trying to make a child your responsibility when it's not. And if you don't acquiesce to this person's demands, however it's coming through here, this person acts like a child. They act up. And you're putting an end to it. You're saying this is too much stress, hassle, and work to maintain this connection. I feel like this is where you're at. You don't want to deal with this anymore. And maybe potentially too, this could be a character that you invited into your life that brought a lot of drama into your home. And you have kids. And you need to be mindful about that, not bringing this kind of stress and upheaval into your home, right? So I do feel like you will issue a message back. I'm moving on from this, you know. This is what I got to do. This is where it's at. How is this going to go? I mean, it's bringing about a big change for you, for sure. You thought long and hard about this. You are moving forward with something. Let me do a cut of the deck. Ooh, look at this. We got marriage. And on the other side, expectation. So I think that you know somebody that you want to come into alignment with. And you have expectancy that, yeah, this is for me. This is my path. And I'm seeing this marriage. This could be, yes, of course, a romantic relationship. This could be getting a marriage back on the right track because some kind of upheaval came into the home from a privileged lady who inserted herself in your situation. In other cases, this is, taking a relationship to the next level because you're getting meddling influences out of the way. In other cases, you're leaving behind something, it's opening up the road, and you can expect to come into alignment with, the person that you're meant to be with. And for some of you, it has nothing to do with love, and it's about coming into alignment with the right partnership to get this dream, get this vision off the ground. This is somebody you're supposed to come in connection with, and you build something together. It's a harmonious connection. And you know that there's something you have to release here in order to come into alignment with it, right? And you expect this. You know this alignment's there waiting for you once you're on the other side of this. And you may be expecting. And so you're starting to make choices too in regard to this, like what kind of life, what kind of environment do I want to have for this baby that's coming into my life? Yeah, you're an official person now in that case. You know that you got to handle things differently. 22 energy there. All right. So however it's playing out for you, I mean, these are collective reads, so it's not going to be the same exact story for everybody. So I like to bring in a few different scenarios. Most of all, listen to your intuition. You'll know how the messages are speaking to you. Let's get a round of these wild cards here. Yeah, somebody here wants their way. They want personal fulfillment. They think about what works for them, what they need. They expect it to be given with this 9 of hearts in the shadow. This is a very selfish, demanding energy. It doesn't take a perspective of the whole picture. It's just all about what they want. It's all about their needs, their demands, what they want, with the 10 of hearts here, also in the shadow. This goes nowhere, and some of you may already be in, a connection, a marriage, something like this, that at one point you thought, like, this is it. Like, this is who I'm going to grow old with. And you're like, oh, hell no. You see it differently now. You see a different side to it. And you want to build in a different direction. Okay. That's for a few of you. Those of you who are maybe choosing to leave one to go be with another, it's possible. It is possible. There might be, some complication related to a child. If that's the case, it might be that you're finding out that, a child, is not yours. And that changes the grounds of everything. Maybe you were choosing to go forward with a marriage and something came in regard to this, like a child somebody was expecting, whether it was the person you're involved with, or it was you, or maybe somebody outside of the relationship. This could have been what stirred a lot up. And then you're discovering that this child is not connected to me. Like, this isn't my partner's child. If you were in a relationship and somebody stepped out, okay. Maybe somebody's designs were on this stability, on the money, on the foundation here. Whatever this is, I think you are becoming clear about it, and you are putting up some blocks, to be sort of like on your guard with this scenario, this energy here, all right? It's one of those things where it's sort of like 3 is a crowd. There's something here that it can't work in its present state. It needs to go through alteration, all right? And I think this has been highlighted for you. And there is something that wants to come into alignment for you here. And you know it. You feel it. You feel guided with the theory of 11 here, right? That's like angels on the outfield energy. And you know that something here is just about the money. Somebody's playing games. It's about the money. Somebody is full of, full of jokes, full of, yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Maybe they kind of take that sort of flippant approach, when they do something that really actually causes a lot of disruption or a lot of harm. And you're like, it's not funny. Like there's been big losses here. I feel like there's been big losses, not just financially, but on a lot of other levels. And just with this energy, the way it's coming out with this jester energy and the skull there, I feel like you're like, you know, I'm not going to be played a fool again. I'm not. Nobody's going to put me in that position again. I'm never going to be burdened like that again. You're never going to cast me in that role ever again. I think of the 10th house here, feeling burdened in the 10th house, somebody affecting your public reputation, somebody affecting how you're seen by other people, or even affecting your work. Maybe even because just you were working with them at one point, if this is somebody you were partnering with on some level. Maybe at one time it seemed like, oh yeah, this is like an ideal partnership. I really like this person. I feel like we work well together. We can really launch this thing. We're going to make big money. And then you're like, maybe I just need to build it for myself. Yeah, I see this here because it became a burden. And there was a lot of stuff that was in the dark that you weren't aware of. I got a lot of sentience. So I really do feel like it's one of those scenarios here where some of you are dealing with this in like a personal relationship, either a really close friendship or a family connection or a love relationship. And others of you are dealing with this on more of like a status level, somebody you partnered with, whether that's on like some kind of creative project or whether it was on like some big opening or event or perhaps some business enterprise, right? And something here felt good for a while. You really had a lot of respect for this person, but they took a fall because you saw that they were involved in some shady stuff is how it's coming through. Some shady stuff, some stuff that could, you know, just mar your standing. And you don't want to put yourself on that level. You're like, no way, man. Space. In a shadow. And there's something here, I think you feel, and look at, there's the energy, there's the Queen of Diamonds in the shadow. Okay, that's that earth sign energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There's something here where you just feel like somebody is almost brutal in their approach or something that they did. Maybe it really took you back. I just heard the dark side's really dark. Yeah, and here you are. You're like, N-O, like I am putting my foot down here. You may have gotten really cold with this person. I see that because here you are in the shadow. Like they touched on something in you. I feel that it roused your anger in such a way where, yeah, this conversation, whatever this was, it wasn't pretty. I mean, your cutoff game was strong here, but I feel like it's because you were really protecting something close to your heart. I see that. I see the motivation was correct, okay? This could be like a tough love kind of situation where it's like, snap out of it. Wake up. It's got those vibes, you know? It's like you put somebody on timeout. You felt like you had to put somebody on timeout. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, can you not see what's happening here? Yeah. It's very interesting. Oof. I mean, the betrayal is intense in this situation with the 5 of Spades in the shadow. Oh, there was so much hidden here. And if you had some kind of arrangement with this person, if you had some kind of a merger, marriage, like serious partnership with this person, assets involved, you know, contract signed, anything like this. Oh, there was so much hidden. There was so much hidden. Or there's been certain things, certain messages, certain insights revealed to you or will come to light, things that were hidden, that when you see this, you're like, oh, whatever it is, it gets a situation that at one point may have been very obscure or clouded, and it makes it quite clear about where you need to set your focus and where you need to be heading. I feel like you're going to overcome whatever this is. And it does look like you got some big success here. All right. There's something that you're rising above in this situation. And whatever you're heading toward here, it pours into you as you pour into it. It's mutually beneficial rather than just one person on the take in a situation, one person getting all their needs met, one person's concerns being the only concerns on the table. Okay. Yeah. All of this. Look at this. What was hidden is being brought to an end in this situation. You're not dealing with this anymore. In some cases, this is a really ugly side of somebody that came out in relation to an inheritance. It really highlighted for you that this person was a bottom feeder. And you can't unsee it. It's one of those things. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I do feel like it was a huge disappointment for you to realize that all this person cared about was being on the come up. Wow. I mean, these cards, they don't mince words. It's just the way it is. That's the way it's coming out. We're going to stick to it. Joker's wild. I don't feel like this energy is done. Okay. I don't. This energy feels persistent. I could feel that. The pestery, kind of like annoying energy as I was dipping in with you guys. So don't think you've heard the last of this character. It's not the last gasp. It's not. But I do think if they try you, they're going to learn something. They're going to learn that you're not putting up with certain things anymore. I don't think that'll go very well for them. Okay, let me do a cut of the deck here, see what we got. Yeah, you're not in partnership with this anymore. You're like, nope, we're settled. We're good here. Okay, no further involvement here. I'm done getting caught up in all your craziness with the Jack of Spades here. You're being really, the way you're serving up what you have to say here, you ain't messing around. Your words are really sharp. And it is with this Queen of Diamonds energy. It comes in again in the light here. Okay. This is the thing. I feel like this person flip-flops, you know. There are times when they realize, you know, maybe they shouldn't have done that back there, you know. But I feel like they only go to that place when they're experiencing a loss as a result of their actions. Then they're like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And it's like, hey, can we laugh it off? And you're like, no, it's not. There's nothing to laugh at here. You're pissed. You are. You are. Your fire is coming forward with this person. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay? You're not mincing words. You're making it very clear. Like, no, get on from me with this. Back from me. For real. Look at this with the 3 of clubs. You're like, nope, nope. You're not entertaining it. And in fact, you may even put in some kind of blocks on social media as well. You may start to realize that this person is just wanting access, you know, to what's going on with you. And then they use this against you. Okay. We got right here, the 8 of Spades coming up in the shadow. I have to say it, especially with the Jack of Spades coming up in the shadow. And the official person and how some of this energy is rolled in. And there could be some kind of real foul play around finances here. There could be some kind of theft here. Something was done that wasn't right. There could have been somebody like surveilling a situation. Okay. This could be somebody trying to tap into somebody's, you know, private accounts, access their accounts, you know, something like this. With the 8 of Spades coming up in the shadow, this could be somebody getting themselves in some legal trouble for some kind of theft. Maybe there's some kind of theft that's coming to light. And you know, you cannot help them out in this situation. You just can't. You got to let them take a fall here. You do. You do. And I think there's 2 of you in this picture who feel adamantly about this, okay? Because you're coming in here like the King of Swords, okay? So I do feel like you're taking a strong action. You came in as the King of Swords, you know, King of Spades, Jack of Spades, energy, you know, and all in the shadow. So I know that whatever this is, you've gone really cold to it. And I see that you got somebody who feels the same way as you in regard to this. Like, no, this stops now, okay? because you don't want to get roped into this. You don't. You're like, no, we're three's a crowd. Get on. I see that. You're really strong about it. You're strong about it. And you know now you do need to block this out, all right, in order to protect your interests. So I do see you taking some measures to address the situation. You know, if you do suspect that somebody is struggling with, you know, some kind of addiction or something, you may tell them, look, you know, I can't bail you out. I can't help you. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn your lessons. And when you get clean, you know, when you straighten up, then you can reach out to me. That could be for some of you. Okay, not all of you, but for some of you. What do I want to get here? I think I want to get, yeah, because you're closing up a cycle. I'm going to get you a Halloween oracle just to kind of like cap things off here for you. Yes, the veil, the future. Okay, so the future is yet to be, and a lot of how things pan out for you in the future has everything to do with how you handle this situation. I do feel like it's kind of one of those moments you're at a crossroads and you have to really be mindful of the choices you're making right now. You have to understand Libra's at the south node, we've got justice at the south node, and then we got the Aries energy at the north node. So this is about really settling scores and laying things to rest, letting go, healing, integrating, understanding our part in situations where we are out of alignment, releasing, making different choices, getting ourselves on the right track, and moving on up to our destiny, you know, through transforming those behaviors of our lower nature, or, you know, situations that we realize we've outgrown, or whatever it may be. Doing the work, basically, is how it all comes into play. Doing the work. So if you're not doing the work, or if you kind of ignore your role in making choices and keep going back into the fray of something that you know is just set to just detonate, like this thing is no good. It's going to blow up in everybody's faces. You know it. Everybody involved in it knows it, you know? And I feel like it's just one of those things where you're like, you don't want to be attached to this. And if you do get sucked in, you know, by somebody plucking those heartstrings, or, you know, throwing a pity party, and you buy into that, it will affect your future. So this is a crucial moment for you. I have faith in you, though. I think you feel like a righteous sense of anger in this situation. I do advise you to, you know, maintain compassion even where you have a righteous sense of anger, right? There is a way to deliver tough love without mirroring the same energy of that which you oppose, okay? And I do feel like, you know, this is like some shadow that's been hanging over you. You're ready to like get to the other side of this. You may feel like a lot of misfortune was brought into your life because of this connection or what panned out here. But the reality is, this is actually lining you up with a rare opportunity you couldn't have had otherwise, okay? Sometimes we don't understand the way something plays out. We go through difficult experiences and we don't understand the way it's actually setting us up for a better future, okay? And even when we deal with difficult people that come into our lives, they're there to teach us something. We learn from them, they learn from us. That's what it's about. So even when you're dealing with a person who's been really problematic on your path, that person came, you know, to help you out. And as I said, that look, it turned up again in the middle of the deck. So this is your overarching theme. For some of you, you have been dealing with some people of the witchy persuasion. They may have been throwing some stuff around. If you walk that path, maybe you were throwing some stuff around. There might be some cleanup work in regard to that. I feel like this is kind of fading in the distance. And we did have that piece about like a little secret group that gets together. You might have to ride it out, okay, to get to the other side of it. But I do feel like you have a certain sense of knowledge here. And sometimes if, you know, we do something like that, we manifest in a way that's not with clarity, or we manifest when we're angry, you know, it can cause less than desirable results. But I feel like you are getting to the other side of that, if that's the case. Whatever's going on here, you have new knowledge in a situation, and you're realizing that even though it went left, it's just about to go